suffer, suffer until you learn to embrace it, said Kokre Hosahali Sheikh Haidar Nisaar Ahmed, popularly known as K.S. Nisaar Ahmed, born on 5th February 1936 in Devanahalli, our Uru, and died on 3rd May 2020 in Bengaluru. Kokre Hosahali Sheikh Haidar Nisaar Ahmed said, suffer, suffer, suffer until you learn to embrace it up. Kokre Hosahali Sheikh Haidar Nisaar Ahmed, known as K.S. Nisaar Ahmed, is well known in almost every household of Karnataka so popularly because of this one song, Nityolsava Kavi. It's known as Nityolsava Kavi. This is the song. The whole of Karnataka. He has written this song. It is very popular. It breaks every part of your body with happiness and celebration. Pure servant is the celebration. Kokre Hosahali Sheikh Haidar Nisaar Ahmed, popularly known as K.S. Nisaar Ahmed, also known as Nityolsava Kavi, said, suffer, suffer, suffer until you learn to embrace it up. Kokre Hosahali Sheikh Haidar Nisaar Ahmed, known as K.S. Nisaar Ahmed, was an Indian poet and writer in the Kannada language. He was awarded the Padma Shri 2008, the Rajyotsava Award 1981, and the Pamba Award for his work 2017. He became a household name for his work, Nityolsava, Daily Celebration, which is a poem about Karnataka peace he composed after seeing the Joke Falls, one of the most beautiful places, Joke Falls. Everybody must go and see Joke Falls, such a beautiful place. Wow, the water and the surrounding. He has numerous poems, translations in children's books to his credit. He is known for using simple words that resonate deeply with the public in his literary works. Nityolsava Kavi K.S. Nisaar Ahmed said, suffer, suffer, suffer until you learn to embrace it up. And that has become the way of life of the people. And people believe suffer, suffer, suffer means it is an orgasmic experience. Suffer, suffer, suffer means it is the Christian world also said only a poor man can pass through the eye of a needle. So everybody wants to know that they are suffering. Whether you are married, you love, anytime and every time you are, oh, I am poor, I am suffering, I am poor, I am suffering. Even if they do not want to suffer, they want to suffer. And what Nityolsava Kavi K.S. Nisaar Ahmed said, suffer, in that case, why don't you suffer itself? What is suffering means? You try to go deeper into that problem, like they say to the Maharishis, love can move mountains. Only in the mountains you can be meditative. Only in the mountains you can be silent. You can see the silence. And in the silence you see the truth. And in the truth is where God resides. Because of that, all the people, all the yogis ran to the Himalayas to be with the to understand the silence. No, there was a long perception. And there they suffer without food, without this and that. And they become bony and they become, nowadays they're becoming more arrogant and aggressive and violent behavior. As suffering, they never said, go to the Himalaya. They said, go to the Himalayan problems and embrace the Himalayan problems. If you know to go to the Himalayan problem, right in the center of the market, in the city, if you can sit and meditate means do karma yoga. That people forgot, they thought meditate means you have to sit in the folded legs and then you keep on chanting that I have to empty my mind. And no, you cannot empty just like that. They said, go to the center of the, go to the Himalayas, go to the Himalayan problems. Himalayan problems are in the center of the city, in the marketplace, where you do karma yoga. And every karma yoga, when you are very much conscious of that pain, and all pain is gain, and when you can break the pain with the body has been suppressed That is the suffering. It has been suppressed so much. Deep down, people do not want to come out of that. You have to do your stretching exercise so much. And when you break the code, when you break the ice, they say it's a tough nut to crack. Once you crack the nut, all answers are the same. The whole world is the same. That is what suffer until you learn to embrace it, until you learn to get the disease out of your body, and then you become one with the nature. My mother, my brother, my sister, my house. They kept on telling that I is suffering. Once you remove it up, you can see the whole world, and then you get the guts to swim. When the rain comes, you don't get frightened to go inside the house to sit. You will go to the river, you will play in the rain, you have a dance in the rain, you have a Nityolsava in the rain. And in that Nityolsava, you jump into the lake, into the river, you swim, you get caught in the world, and then you come out again, and the body becomes so powerful. First time you feel you are melted with the nature. Suffer. Most of my people, children, when they come here, the parents allow the children. One cry of the mother, I'll take the children inside. In the beginning days, I didn't have any recourse, not asking any recourse. So children keep on running, quite a lot of children. The whole mind of the child is to suffer. I do not know whatever best facilities we give, the child wants to run. And what to run, where to run? They want to run only to one place, to catch a boy. Most of the girls are running only, they're thinking, I want to catch a boy, I want to marry. They know the marriage is suffering. They are not. To marry, to catch a boy, you have to be a girl first. Girl means you have to become a 1,000-man warrior. You have to work like a 1,000 person. And you have understood, you have loved yourself as a girl. After you have loved yourself as a girl, then you don't need powder and lipstick just to satisfy the other person. Throughout the life, the film media kept on telling, suffer. And suffering is something great. You suffer with the mother-in-law, you suffer when you go to husband's place. And they all wanted to talk about sufferings only. Now, Nityolsava Kavi Nisaar said, suffer until you learn to embrace it. Okay, never mind. That has become the way of life over here. Then you embrace. Once you embrace that one, once you embrace the suffering releases out. The first time you understand that suffering, that embrace was not yours. You are embracing somebody. You forgot to embrace yourself. When you embrace that suffering, deep down, suddenly you feel the hand slowly touching you, and then you learn, oh, this is me. There is no suffering. I suffered because I was never in the nature. I was never in the rainfall. I was never in the sunlight. I never did my stretching. You don't even have to do your stretching. You do not have to do yoga, provided you are in the land, tilling the land, jumping and dancing and working with the pet animals, climbing the trees. That makes you one of the strongest, and you never wanted to come back to your house. Children run away from here. Lakshmi ran away from here just to marry an old man. And when they reached home, they said, oh, who will marry you? Here I said, girls, do not marry till you get a job. You must get a job. You must stand on your own legs. Once you stand on your own legs, then you do not have to eat on your husband's money. He will start respecting you. Instead, they ran, they got married. After 10 years, Lakshmi comes and tells me, oh, my 10 years is lost. They like to tell me 10 years is lost, but they never want to learn. You saw me, she ran away from you first time, second time, third time. I told her, one more time you run away from you, you'll create a record. Fourth time, she ran away on that same day. And 9th standard, she never completed after that. Running away and then getting married to an old man, and that old man dies very fast. And again, so I do not know what kind of suffering they like to enjoy it. They go back home, and the parents, when they give the children, they tell, Guruji, you are the father, you are the mother, you are everything. And once the child reaches degree or MA, Lakshmi English is telling, they all, when they go from here, they all walk like a princess with all your best dresses. like a film actress, immediately the village people think, oh, if a princess came, give it to me, give it to me. They go and torture the father. They give 5,000 rupees for him to drink. Immediately said, I've already promised. And the girl is married to a kebab wala or to a 8th standard failed person, postgraduate, completed from Rakumjee school, did the B.Ed and then get married to a 8th standard without a job. And after 5 years, 8 years, they come back. 10 years they're coming back. And then tell Guruji, we are suffering. Please help us. Suffer has become the way of life because of the film media. Film has to change it. Films keep on telling about sufferings and everybody wants to suffer. Never mind. Take it, but try to understand. Embrace what Nisaar said, embrace that suffering. And when the suffering, when the bear hug touches you, you will feel, oh, this is suffering, this is not suffering. Suffering is because I did not drink enough water every day. Why didn't I drink enough water? Because I did not till in the land. When you're tilling, I don't have to force 8 to 12 glasses of water. Water retention will come. I do not have to push in because body keeps on asking for water because you are sweating. In that sweat is gold. In that sweat is the biggest salary. The whole life has been to work for somebody else, to go into the concentration camps of the factories and the companies so that you again become a slave and said, the factories are torturing. Himse kottidu. That himse has become the gold, himse has become the diamond. The girl goes to the husband's house and says, himse. Husband goes here, himse. They go to the factory, himse. They come to the Guruji, himse. That suffer has become the diamond. And the company hates 2%, rich controls 98% of the wealth of the country. They are very happy as long as people say, I'm poor, I am suffering. You suffer. They never need you to enjoy. The moment you enjoy, Nityolsa Kavi knows the whole country is Nityolsa happiness. Ananda, Paramananda, you will just enjoy. And if you are enjoying, these companies will never run. The factories will not run. Your factories will be your land which produces enough. And you have enough time to sit with your people. And if that is not the truth, coronavirus has proved you have to be with the family, and those who are really conscious being with the family, they must have created a real family, a joint family, and a family tree. Kokre Hosahalli, Sheikh Haidur Nisaar Ahmed, popular known as K.S. Nisaar Ahmed, and very popular with the Nityol's Kavi, K.S. Nisaar Ahmed said, suffer until you learn to embrace it up. This is my 324th small.